Hi, this is Monica C. Webster from Webster Art Gallery. Welcome to Scrawls and Scribbles. What we're doing here is we are making a piece of art out of various loose lines and in color. So what we're going to start with is just making a scribble drawing. I personally like Sharpies when doing this, black Sharpies. I think darker colors for the lines work best. You can use paint, doesn't really matter. And you want to just fill the page. You want to fill the page, and I would suggest, just to make it more interesting, using different types of lines. So you can see here that at first I did a lot of loopy, like literally scribble lines, and then, you know, I did some straight lines, and now I'm doing some dotted lines, making some shapes in there. You can also see that the scribbles are pretty small. They pretty much fill the whole page, and they create really small spaces. And as I'm adding these other types of lines, they make the spaces even smaller. To make it even more interesting, you can also make some lines thicker, leave some of the lines thin, and then you just choose different places to make some thicker lines, and it just kind of gives it a bit more of a visual complexity there. So here again, adding some straight lines, making some smaller spaces. Adding some more shapes. And I just kind of want to close up some of the spaces as well, because I want to have some clear some clear divides between the spaces. And again, just making some of the areas a little bit thicker. You notice I'm not going all around the contour of that space and making all the lines thicker. Just, again, just really picking and choosing which areas I want to add a bit of volume to. Okay, so this is the finished piece, and you can see again that the spaces are really small and it pretty much fills the whole page. And just to add a little bit more visual interest, I'm actually going to draw a couple of pictures. And so I started with a sun and a moon in the sun. And I'm actually making the sun's rays two different shapes. So one is your quintessential triangular ray, and then I have that interspersed with some wavy ones. You'll see that I'm doing the same thing as I was doing with the rest of the scribble drawing, just adding some volume to some of the lines. It also helps to bring the sun out a little bit more. And here I am adding a cloud. I'm just using some curly lines. Okay, so now it's time to add some color. And as you can see, I've already added some red. My suggestion would be to use something like pencil crayon, unless the ink that you've used, the marker that you've used, is waterproof, in which case you can certainly use watercolor and have some really cool effects with that. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I am using pencil crayon, and just to save yourself a bit of time, I would basically use the same color and color in different parts of your piece with that color. That way you're not constantly pulling out the same color over and over again. For this particular piece, I am trying to get as many different colors in there as I can, so I wanted to make sure that I put, for example, the blue, you know, each section of blue has space between each other for other colors. Now, the whole point of this is not to say this is what you have to do. The whole point of this is to give you a little bit of a basis, and then, you know, hopefully you go and do your own thing with it. What I mean by that is that for me, for example, you can see in here that most of the lines that I've used are curvy, they're circular, and that's just because that's what appeals to me. And even the whole using you know, all different types of colors, that's just something that appeals to me personally. But I mean, you could certainly, if you prefer straighter lines or jagged lines or dotted lines, or you want thicker line, like a wider variety of thicker lines, or you want a specific color scheme, maybe you want your color scheme to be cooler, so you know, the blues and purples, and or you want it to be brighter and you don't want any blues, and whatever it is you want to do. You can even put a whole picture, you know, draw a whole kind of scene behind it, or draw more shapes, or not have any pictures at all, you know, just have scribbles. I realized at a certain point that I forgot that I had actually drawn a sun, moon, and cloud. So, and I had already started to color it in with, you know, purples and stuff like that. So here I am adding more sun colors to try to make that particular subject pop out a little bit more. So you can see I'm just adding some yellow, some red, some orange. Just trying to make it so that you can actually discern the sun when you're looking at this piece. And here's the piece so far. And from this point in, I'm just going to show you the piece in progress, as it were. So you can see here that I've added more blue to balance it out, because I had a lot of really bright colors and like really warm colors, and I really wanted to kind of balance that out a bit. Alright, now don't forget to sign your name to your masterpiece, and if you do decide to create your own scribble drawing, I'd really love to see it. Feel free to post it to my Facebook page. That would be at Webster Art Gallery. Don't forget to check back often for new tutorials. I would love to share the journey with you. For behind the scenes looks at what's going on in the art studio, sneak peeks at new and upcoming art pieces, news on the latest tutorial, and access to some free goodies, come on over to www.websterartgallery.com and join the action. This is Monica C. Webster. Thanks for watching.